How's it, everyone? Welcome back to Hawaiian Horology. On today's episode, we are going to be taking a closer look at Rolex's most budget-friendly option for men. This is the OP41 with the green dial, and I will be telling you guys a quick story about my biggest watch regret ever. So stay tuned. Here we go. Alright, so here we go. This is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual 41mm with a lacquer green dial. This green is really the Rolex green. If you think about green, I'll show you the box here. This dial and the box almost match here, but if like Rolex green is their color. Kind of like their flagship color, which they hardly use on any watches, but it's more like their designs, their boxes, and their marquees and everything. But this is the green that you'll be thinking of. The Oyster Perpetual 41, of course, measures in at 41mm in diameter. It's a very thin, very wearable, 11.8mm thick. We got 47mm lug to lug here, 20mm bracelet, which tapers down to about 15.5, and then it comes back to 18 at the clasp here. Let's take a closer look here at the dial. Here we have baton markers and baton hands, double markers at the 3, 6, and 9. Rolex Oyster Perpetual printed at the top, and superlative chronometer officially certified at the bottom. And this is just a beautiful watch. I think for the money, this one cost $6,400 at retail, and I think it's a very good proposition, but I'm not sure if you wouldn't spend a little bit more money getting Explorer 1, or maybe even a little bit more getting a Datejust. I'm gonna do another video in the future just comparing this one to the Datejust 41, and just to see what the differences are. And of course, the date is the difference, and a couple of the design aspects are a little bit different, but just to see whether it is worth it to spend a little bit more. Of course, when you're looking at the OPE, you're looking at the color variation that they have. They slimmed down their color line. Pretty much green is the only color that's left out of the colors that dropped. I don't think the red is even available anymore. They discontinued the red and the yellow, and of course the Tiffany blue dial. But this is a great proposition here. I would say if you have the opportunity to pick one of these up, I definitely would. On the wrist, it feels very nice. Of course, it's a very nicely proportioned watch. But I really wanted the previous generation of this model. It was actually the 39mm variation, the purple or I guess grape dial. But at the time, I already had the Rolex Explorer, and I just feel like as we take a look at these two watches here, I put the Explorer on a couple of NATOs, and I got a curved in spring bar, which is working pretty good. I don't think it's going to break off or anything, but I will make a review on these curved spring bars. I think it's what you need because of the position of the lug holes here, but I'll just take it off just for viewing purposes with the OP41. Design-wise, I think the Explorer looks a lot nicer, a lot more classic looking. This is a little more plain, but the dial color is what really sets it apart here. So like I was saying, I really wanted the purple dial, but I thought it was too much overlap for the Explorer 1, which I think is true, and I'm kind of disappointed that they discontinued it and I didn't pick it up, and I don't think I would pick it up on the secondary market. I think that one still trades for a premium. Of course, almost every Rolex does trade for a premium here. And yeah, I think this is a great watch. And this was loaned into the channel again by Mr. T, who just gets watches left and right. He is their VIP customer. He's at the top of every list, and hopefully he'll give me more watches that I can review later. But on to my story about my biggest watch regret. This was in 2020 during COVID. Lockdown was happening. It was actually a period when in Hawaii the stores had opened up. I forget when. So everybody went to lockdown, and when the stores opened up, my AD, she offered me a no date sub, which I picked up. And then the stores locked back down, and then Rolex had their releases, which I believe was in September of 2020, but we're already on lockdown again. So of course they're not even selling watches at that time. The watches didn't come out yet. They updated the Submariner and they brought out the colorful OPs. But since my authorized dealer, she texts everybody back and forth quite a bit. She also she would text me just like random stuff like pictures, websites, and just stuff like that. So she was kind of the only, I'm not sure she's the only one, but she uses her personal phone to contact her customers back and forth. And she was these, like every year when they drop new watches, she sends us pictures and everything like that. But on this one, she sent us all the pictures, and she told us that, well, she told me and also Mr. T that we could pre-order any dial, any color of the OP line that came out. There's no limits. You can get as many as you want. You get every color if you want. And at that time, I had just picked up Submariner, like I said. I just had picked up Seamaster 300. And then I was kind of like, you know what? I wanted the purple. None of the colors really spoke to me. I was like, yeah, this is cool colors, but then there was also the overlap that I feel like that this watch has with the Explorer 1. So I turned it down. I was like, you know what? I don't think I will pre-order any of these watches. And then as time grew, like the I guess Tiffany blue, North Carolina blue, whatever kind of blue you want to call it, that model jumped off. So I was like, hey, then that's where the stores opened back up. I went in there, I was like, hey, could I get one? She was like, yeah, I'll put you on the list. But at that time, I already knew it was impossible. That watch, I don't know, went up over $25,000, maybe $30,000. So I could have pre-ordered it. That's one of my biggest regrets. But I don't know if she would have actually delivered on it. I kind of asked her, oh, did everybody who ordered get the watches? And she was like, some of them got it, some of them are still waiting. And I'm not even sure how many models the store did get in. So, if I pre-ordered it and then I didn't get it, of course I'll be very disappointed, but that will kind of give you like a little more leverage just to be able to ask her for maybe something else like a Daytona or a GMT or something like that. But I could have had it. Maybe I could have had it, but I didn't get it. But also Mr. T didn't take that opportunity to buy the watches either. So that's kind of both of our biggest regrets. But also on these pre-orders, she was also, I think this is the same time that the Palm Dial 36 millimeter Datejust was coming out. She had also offered me that watch, but this is like way after. She was like, oh, you should get one for your wife. You can buy one now. I'll save one for you and da-da-da. And I asked my wife if she wanted one. She said, oh, no, I'm okay. And then I was like, can I wear one? But 36, for my larger wrist here, I personally think I need something a lot bigger than a 36 millimeter because this 41 fits on me just fine. I think my wrists are about 19 centimeters, close to over 7.5, 8 inches. It's kind of hard to measure it. I don't really have a tool that can measure my wrist. But so also for the Palm Dial, I turned her down on that one too. But then later I was asking her, or even maybe this is not that long ago, maybe about a year ago, they discontinued the Palm Dial on stainless steel, and they're only available, I believe, on two tones now. And she said she had to give some refunds to I don't know how many customers, because customers were waiting because they paid in full for those Datejust. So that could have been the same scenario with the OPs. I don't know if she didn't really say if she had to give any refunds on the OPs, but she did tell me since they discontinued the Datejust, and in like 2 years after that, they did discontinue the OPs in the other colors. So I'm not sure whether I would have got it. Maybe I would have, maybe I wouldn't. Thanks again for watching another episode of Hawaiian Horology, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Shoot!